Welcome back to the channel. My name is Brad, and this is part 2 of how to eliminate your Jeep JL or Gladiator JT auxiliary battery. In my first video, I go through the very simple process and reversible process of eliminating your Jeep JL or Gladiator JT auxiliary battery. We all know it's going to go bad, and when it does, it's going to kill your starting battery and leave you stranded somewhere when you least expect it. So, the second part of eliminating your auxiliary battery is to disable the stop-start. And traditionally, if you don't have any way of programming it off the system, you have to keep hitting the stop-start button to disable it every time you start the vehicle because it always resets to a on state. Now, if you have a Taser JL Mini or a Flash Cal or any other programmer that goes through the security gateway, you can program it off that way, but those are rather pricey. I don't know how much the Flash Cal is, but the Taser JL Mini is about 330 Freedom units, and that's rather expensive if you don't have any other modifications to your Jeep. You don't have large tires, you're not re-geared, you don't need to delete your FAD. It's rather expensive. So this option only costs you about 48 Freedom units, and it is a simple, actually I think it's quite simpler, or more simple. English is hard. It plugs into the back of the AC panel instead of the security gateway, which is under the dashboard, which is really a pain in the ass to get to if you haven't done it before. This will take about 5 minutes, and it operates the same way. Once it's plugged in, when you start the Jeep and you hit the button to disable, it remembers your setting and will always be disabled until you turn it back off until you disable the disable. That doesn't make any sense. It'll remember the setting you have set, so if it's disabled, every time you restart, it stays off. And if you want to re-enable it for whatever reason, you can. Just turn it back on, and every time you restart, it remembers the previous setting from where it was. This is a very quick fix, and yes, it is still about 50 bucks, but now you don't have to button every time. And it gives you another option where if you don't need a full programmer, now you have a very inexpensive option. I'll leave a link down below in the description. It is an Amazon affiliate link, so anything you do purchase there does help out the channel, and I appreciate it very much. Alright, so the instructions are pretty straightforward. It's about a 5-minute install. You just need a plastic pry tool to take off the AC panel. And this does not work on a 2024 because it's slightly different. Even though I think it would, it's not certified to work on a 2024 newer. However, it's just more difficult to get the AC panel off on the 2024s. So let's go inside and show you how this thing operates and how to get it installed. It's a 5-minute job, and you can do it with tools you already have in the house. Okay, now we're inside the Jeep. It is very easy to get installed. When I flip the camera around, I'll show you where to install it, how to get it installed, and then we'll show its operation. All right. So it actually installs behind this AC panel here, so your start-stop button to start and stop the Jeep, as well as this panel, this pops off. I do think this will work on the 2024 and 2025 models because while this panel is really easy to take off in the 18 through 23, it gets a little more complicated because this is also attached to the grab bar, and it gets kind of weird in the newer models, but I do think it'll work in both of them. When you take this off, there's a plug right behind the hazard button, and you simply just plug this in line. With this plugged in, it simply plugs in behind this panel in line. You don't need to mess with the security gateway. And now, after you have it installed, every time you start the Jeep, wait for it, it automatically disables the stop-start without having to touch any buttons at all, and it keeps it very simple. So once you have this disabled, every time you start the Jeep, it's disabled going forward. This also helps you eliminate the auxiliary battery without the need to have to push the stop-start button every time. And you can save a few bucks if you don't need the full programming options from a Taser or a Flash Call option. As always, I appreciate you watching the videos, and I'll see you on the next.